Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here, coming back at you with another drawing video. It's Sunday, and it's a Sunday during Sonic Month. So happy Sonic Month, everybody. We are drawing another Sonic character here. This is an Archie character called Erma? Ermine? I believe that's how it's pronounced. And this video was requested by Mr. Beanie 7676. So thank you so much for the request. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I vaguely remember Erma here. I think she was kind of like a villain character. I can't really place her. I think she played a part in the Endgame storyline. But again, it's been a while since I went through my the Archie comic. But she is an Archie comic exclusive character. So we're going to be drawing her today. And before we start, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out, helps out the channel. And without further ado, let's get our pencils ready and let's jump in. Alright guys, so to start off drawing Erma here, what we're going to do is draw a nice decent sized circle. Keep it light. This is just a gesture. We're just placing shapes in so we know where to go off of. So nice decent sized circle. And then right under that circle you're going to draw another one kind of right here. If you want to give it like a little bit more kind of depth, it should be, it looks something like this. You could draw kind of like a little oval there. We can get a nice big circle here for her elbow or her shoulder. And then we can get another big circle here for her fist. It'll be right about there. Little oval here and here connecting it to make the arm. And then we're going to have like an oval here, one going right there, one going down here, and getting another circle for her fist. Then we get kind of like a little cone shape here, and then a nice big oval for where her leg starts, and then another one here, and two big circles for where her foot is. And then this would just be kind of like an oval behind here, and then another kind of big foot right about there. But that is pretty good for the gesture that we need. Again, this is all just to place out shapes, kind of know where we're going on. So don't draw anything too dark, just nice little shapes. But now we're going to zoom in and get a little bit more detail. And I don't like the paper shifting under this, so I'm going to take all this paper out and we're just going to draw on it. There we go. Much easier. So now what we're going to do, if you want to, you can kind of draw on the crosshairs to keep things better. It looks something like this. And what you could do is draw kind of like a circle here for her eye, and then like another kind of oval here for her other eye. And then right here we're going to get kind of like an oval going out like this. And we'll start off with her nose. So her nose is going to be kind of right about here. And all you need to do is draw a nice little curve line like this, and then draw a line going down and over like that. And then once you got that down, what I'm going to do is actually kind of jump into this eye real quick and start right about here and draw a nice little curve line like this. It's going to curve up and then over like that. And now that we've got that down, we could draw a line from the tip of the nose here straight there. And then from the nose, we'll start right about here, and you're just going to get a nice kind of curve line that curves down, kind of goes up to about here, around, and then straightens out on the bottom and goes in there. That's going to be her mouth. And then for her teeth, that's going to be right here. It's going to be a line going in like that. Then you get a little triangle right here, and then a line going in for her teeth. And since we got that done, we can start with this eye, and pretty much we're going to start with this little hook shape that we did here. So we're going to do this little hook, and it's going to go over, and this is going to go up, around, and then in right about there. And now that we got that done, we can kind of draw in her eyes. So her eyes, this eye is going to start here, and it's going to be this curve line going down, and then in like that. And then this one's going to start right about here and just kind of go over, straighten out right about here, and then kind of curve up right about there like that. And now that we've got that done, we can draw a nice little curve line here and then here for her eyelashes. And we could just actually finish off her eyelashes. You're just going to draw a little line hugging it, and then it's going to go off into 2 spikes here, like so. And then curve down like that. And then same thing on this side, it's just going to follow this eye line, kind of curve down right about there, and then break off into 2 spikes like that. And you can shade all this in as well. This can all be basically black. And then same thing over here. And once we got those done, now you can draw in her eyes, which are these nice kind of big kind of U shapes like this. So we got one here and then one here like that. And then you can draw a nice half circle in there with a little kind of smaller oval right there like that. Same thing right here, like so. And then we can jump into the nose here. You can get a little half circle here and then shade the nose in. And then also we can jump back at the nose and kind of starting right here, we could get a line kind of going into the eye there like that. And since that's done, what we could do here is start kind of right about here and draw a line hugging the mouth and then curving in like so. And then over here we're going to break off into 3 spikes. So we're going to go into 1 spike, 2 spike, and then the 3rd spike there like that. And now what we're going to do here is kind of curve this down and in like that. But we're not going to fill in this part. Right about here we're going to get the 3 spikes. So 1, 2, well, we'll only see 2 of them. And then you can erase like this section right there. Like so. And now what we're going to do is make this very light, but we're going to gesture in kind of like a bigger circle here for her head. So you want to keep like a nice rounded shape for where her head is, like so. And then once we get that in, I'll zoom out a little bit, we could draw on her ear. So I'm going to keep this very light. It's basically going to just be this big triangle here like this. And then we're going to get another kind of big triangle right about here like that. And then for her hair, it's basically going to be this kind of big kind of teardrop shape like this. And then it's going to go down, in, and then into some spikes here like that. But now we're going to get more detailed here. And we'll start with the hair. And right here, you're just going to draw a nice, decent sized spike here like this. And then we're going to get another one that's going to kind of loop over where her eye is. And you would erase any of this stuff. So any of the overlap you can erase. And then starting from the top here, we're just going to draw a line going out, breaking into a spike. And then we'll get one more spike right about there. And then we're just going to get a nice curve line that curves like this. And that's pretty much it for her hair. Now we could jump into this ear, and we'll start right here and just draw a line going up like this. It's going to curve down and in about there. And then when you hit here, you're going to just go back into this kind of circle that we have here like that. And now that you got that done, we can draw a nice little curve line like this. And then we're going to basically make like this triangle shape like that for her ear. And then over here, we're not going to get any of this stuff. So you can avoid all of that. But we will get the top of the ear here, which I'll just darken in. And then we'll start right about here and draw a line going down, and then a line going down here. And a nice little trick to this is draw this line more in kind of like the middle of the triangle, and then this line is going to be very close to like this edge. So it'll give it kind of like the optical illusion that it's kind of like tilted. And now that we got that done, we could just kind of move into her body here. So we're pretty much done with her head. I'll jump into the hair after we get like the shoulder and like the hand in. But we're going to just move into her neck real quick. And her neck's super easy. It's going to go off her, I'll zoom in a little bit too. Go off her like muzzle here. And it's basically going to just be this curved line like this. And then we're going to get a line going down here for her neck. And you can shade all this in black if you want to. Then what we're going to do is draw a line that goes, follows it a little bit, kind of dips down like this, and then goes around and then up like that. And then right about here, we're going to just draw a nice little curve line that follows this curve right there. So that's pretty much it for her collar. Now what we could do is kind of draw in her fist, and then we're going to kind of like make her arm and then the rest of her body around that. So we'll start with the fist here. This is a good placement for it. So what we're going to do is draw a series of circles like this going on an arc. And then once you have that done, what we could do is start, we'll just go into it. So I'm going to start here and just draw a line going over and then down and then in like that. And then in between these like 4 circles that we have here, I'm just going to start about here and just draw a line going over and then down, over and then down, over and then down like that. And I'll draw this line connecting into there. And then I'll just kind of work this line into here. Kind of same thing, kind of round it off. Don't keep it as sharp. And then this one will start about there, go down. This one will kind of curve over and in, and then you'll have a little curve line right there. I know it might be a little complicated because we don't have the rest of the fist drawn in, but if you have something that looks like this, you'd be pretty good. Also, you'd want to do a curve line right there. This one's going to curve up like this, so it's going to bump up. These other ones are going to kind of curve and bump down for these 4 fingers. And then we could start with the knuckle here. So we're just going to go up, kind of get the knuckle by straightening it out and then dipping down like this. Straighten out, dip it down, down. And it's going to get progressively less steep. And it's going to stop right about there, like that. And then here what we're going to do is just kind of go off the side here and basically just make this nice big U shape that connects into the pinky there. And then we'll draw on the thumb, which is just going to be a line going out. Has a little bit of a dip in and then wraps around like that. So that's pretty much it for her hand here. And you can erase a lot of the guidelines here like that, but you should be left off with something that looks like this. And now that that's done, what we could do is draw basically a curve line here and a curve line going here like this. So basically like a circle, but you'd erase like this portion. You don't want them to connect. And then here it's going to bump out, kind of go in like this, go down, and then in like that. And then here we're just going to get a nice big curve line like that. And then starting from here, we're basically going to get the shoulder, so it's going to bump out, kind of go in a little bit, over, and then in like that. And then right about here where this line kind of starts, you're just going to draw a line curving over and then in like so. So we got our arm. And now that we got our arm in, we could draw the rest of her hair, which would be just going down here like this, kind of curve in, get a spike, and then we get another spike right there like that. And now that we got that done, we can kind of draw on her body. So her body's pretty simple. You just have to really draw on like her bust, and then her waist will go down and kind of be around there like that. But we'll start with her bust, and we'll start right about here. And you draw a line going down, kind of following this circle that we made here, and then it'll bump over like that. And then right here you get a nice little curve line curving in like so. And now that that's done, we can draw in the rest of her shirt, which will be a line going down and then kind of curving in like this, so we'll get like a fold in the shirt. And then this line will go out, kind of curve over and in like this. And then right here you're going to get a line bumping out, going down, and then hugging the bottom there like that. So that's pretty much it for her shirt here. And we're just going to jump into her other hand, just get that over with. So basically what you want to do here is start a little bit before this line ends and draw a line going over, and then it's going to kind of curve in quickly like this. So you get like a little hook on it. And then here you're going to get a line going out and then kind of down about here. It's going to wrap around and then go in to that line right there like that. So you should get like a nice bent arm. And then here what we're going to do is start right about here and draw a line going out. It's going to have like a little bump in it like this. Then it's going to curve around and stop right about there. And then we'll start right here and draw a nice little curve line curving in like this. So it's pretty much like this part of her shirt is right here. And now we'll draw in the other hand. So the other hand's pretty simple. You could draw it with really like an oval right here and then a circle right here. And then for the oval, we'll just kind of go into it, and we'll draw a line going out. Then it's going to dip in real quickly, and then go over, and then in like this. So you should get a shape that looks something like that. And then here, what you really only need to do is draw in the first finger. So I'll actually start off right here. So I'm going to start with a line going down like this. It's going to curve over and then in. And then we're going to have like a little bump here. And then it's just going to curve into the glove portion right there like that. So it kind of looks like a nice little closed fist. And I can make this line a tad shorter, like right about there. Like so. And that's pretty much it for her upper body. And now we just got her legs, which are pretty simple. So we're really going to just jump into this. So we're going to start with her bottom leg here, and it's just going to be this kind of curve line that goes in like this because she's running. And then right about here, we're going to start with a curve line. That's just going to go around, kind of get up here, and then go in rather quickly like that. And then we start right about here and just draw a curve line going down like this. And then we'll have another little curve line popping out right about there. And we can get in her tail while we're here too. So her tail's going to be right here. And all you're going to do is just draw a curve line going up. And then break it down into 3 spikes here. Like so. I'm going to make the middle one a little bit longer than the rest. Like that. They looked a little bit too even. So I'm going to make the middle one just a tad longer, so it looks a little bit better. So that's pretty good. So now we'll jump into her shoes here. So right here we're going to get a little curve line, and very similar to what we did like right up here, we're going to get another kind of line that curves over and around like that. So basically like a circle but with no middle right there. And then we'll start right about here and draw a curve line curving in like so. And now, this shoe's going to be a little tricky because it's going to go down, and I'm going to have to move it a little bit. It's going to be a little bit lower. So it's going to go like here, and then we'll have like a shoe shape right about here as it curves up like that. So it's a little hard to explain, but I'm just going to jump into it. So we're going to start right about here and draw a curve line curving up like this, and it's going to go in like so. Then we're going to have like a little bit of a bump here. And then it's going to go over, kind of have like a little dip into it here. So I'll get to like a point, and then it'll go down, and then we'll follow this kind of circle shape here. And then we'll just dip in like that. So you should get like a shoe shape that looks something like that. And then to give it a little bit more detail, we're going to get a curve line right here for like the bend of the shoe. And then maybe like one here to show like the ankle. And then for the sole of the shoe, we're going to start here is draw a line going down or across like this. It's going to go over and then up to where this kind of like point is. And then from this point, it's going to go over, and then you're just going to hug the bottom of the shoe here like that. So you get a nice kind of curved foot shape. And then here, it'll go down, and we're going to miss a lot of this other foot, but it'll kind of be right about here. And then we'll see the back of it there like that. So really what we're going to see is starting from here, and it's going to be very similar to this. We're going to get a line going down, and it's going to curve in like that. And then it's going to bump out, curve in. You're going to get that little kind of dip right there as it curves around like so. And then right about here, we'd get a curve line here, and then there like that. Whoops. So it's going to dip around like so, curve like that. And then we'll get the sole of the shoe here, which is a line going down, going into where this point is, and it's going to go out. It's going to get cut off a little bit, but that's okay. Like that. And then maybe you would see like a little bit of a bump, like this portion right here with like a little bit of a bump. But you don't have to draw that if you don't want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we got her tail and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much how you draw Erma. I'm going to zoom out here. This one's a little tough. I think the shoes are the toughest part about her. She has like really kind of weird boot shoes. And especially like this pose is kind of real tough with the way they're kind of like positioned and kind of the foreshortening that's going on. But all in all, I think this one isn't too bad. So I will take the sketch that we just did, put it with other pages, so hopefully it'll stay up. And then I'll take the inked version I did beforehand and put that up there as well. And show them both off. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is pretty much how you draw Erma from the Archie Sonic comic. Happy Sonic Month, everybody. It is June, so it's Sonic Month for the channel, so I'll be doing Sonic related drawing videos. And thank you again, Mr. Beanie 7676 for the request. I do appreciate it. If you guys have requests, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and then just tune in on Sunday when I upload a drawing video. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great Sonic month. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.